I mean, they're so lush with the layers and layers of petals. This is the one piece of the Sorbet Peonies, bringing it to you as a bare root plant, $29, $9.67 on an easy pay. Again, it ships for free. It's M132211. These are stunning. Look at these hues. I think it's the perfect name, calling it the Sorbet.
Look at that picture.
Oh.
Seriously? That looks like the Biltmore estate behind it, but so will your house when these are growing in your front yard. These are one of my all-time favorite peonies, and like you, I love peonies. I know Isaac Mizrahi loves peonies.
Yes, he does.
People that absolutely love them. Peonies, roses, and hydrangeas. They're all in this show. They're my three favorites.
Boom, boom,
so
boom.
This particular peony is called Sorbet, and there's several reasons why it's more special and why it's one of my favorites. First of all, you're getting like a huge ice cream cone full of petticoats of layers of blooms. So you're going to get the petals in pink, then you've got like a creme fraiche or like a beautiful vanilla white in the center with a lower layer of more of that beautiful pink. So look at the size of that. Most peonies are going to be half that size, if anything. This one gives you tons of petticoats of petals. The other thing I love about this one... I love
that phrase, by the way.
Yeah,
petticoats of petals.
The other thing I love about this peony, and believe it or not, most peonies are not fragrant. They don't smell like anything.
Right.
They might have like a faint peony, sort of a generic peony smell. This one is really, really fragrant. So it is a rarity in the peony world. So you get large blooms, you get an intoxicating fragrance from these, and you're also getting really strong stems. So if you've grown peonies in the past, you might know that after a hard rain, they're all laying on the ground.
Yeah.
And either that or you need to brace them with like some kind of a cage or something to make sure they don't tip over. This particular peony variety has very strong stems as well. So, and that's to support those big heads of flowers.
Now, why I love peonies, I love to watch them, right? Because they start as those really tight bulbs,
ball.
and then they just start to bloom, and all those petticoats of petals, which I'm gonna steal from you because I love that. They just like, they keep on coming and coming and coming. And look at the size of these blooms. They are intense, they are big, they are large.
Yeah. It's important what you start out with too. So here's what we're sending to you. This is what's called a rhizome. So it's not really a bare root, something slightly different than a bare root. But what you want to do when you look for peonies, and this is how you're going to always find peonies, whether you get them at the local garden shop or from us, they're going to sell you a rhizome like this. So you get these big fingers, these are the roots that point downward.
Okay.
And then on the top, you want to look for these little pink eyes. These are called eyes. So on this one, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So any peony that has, I'll just point that to you so you can see it. Any peony that has 3 to 5 is considered a really great rhizome, which is going to give you a big plant. This one has even more than that. And so what happens is each of these little buds is going to grow into those stems of multiple flowers. So when you plant a peony, this is really important. See where my fingers are?
Yes.
You want to leave the soil, if there's rhizomes on your, if there's eyes on your rhizome, leave them peeking out of the soil like this. But over top, you don't want to put more than about 1 inch or 2 of soil. The biggest mistake people make is planting their peonies down really low. Peonies like a shallow covering of soil on the top.
Oh.
So make sure you don't dig a big hole and put them way down in a hole that's a foot under the ground, or you're not going to have anything growing. So just a couple of inches of soil over the top, or leave the little rhizome peeking out. And I love what you said about the tight little balls.
I love it, tight little ball.
But even before that,
yeah,
what you should love about peonies is as your daffodils and crocuses and tulips and all your spring bulbs are starting to fade away, you'll see those pink little fingers of peonies coming out of the ground.
Oh, cute.
That's the first thing you'll love about peonies, because you know something's going on. And as soon as those spring bulb flowers are done, your peonies are up and getting ready to bloom. You'll see those tight little balls, and you'll get flowers from your peony from late May, early June, all the way till July, and then they're done.
Okay.
This is a spring, early summer flower.
Okay.
So it's also nice to plan your garden by planting your peonies to coincide with your summer flowers, your hydrangeas, your roses. your daisy type flowers. All of those things are now going to be coming out mid-June to early July, so they kind of will overlap with your peonies.
Will we get blooms our first season? We will.
Yes. So this is like a 3-year-old rhizome.
Okay.
So this was dug up out of the grower's planting area. It looked like this already. Okay. So this is, if you were to go out to your peony patch right now and dig up your rhizomes, this is what they would look like if you had a large peony shrub last year. And this will continue to multiply under the ground as it gets older. So you don't need to dig this up. This is frost tolerant to like minus 15 or more. And again, zone 5 to 8 for this. This is not a successful plant for really hot climates.
Okay.
It does need a frost, but it will withstand the cold under the ground, or you can plant a peony in a pot. I don't really recommend it because, again, you don't have any more flowers on your peony after the end of June. So now you've got a pot with green leaves in it, unless you want to plant other things in there too. But these do best, I think, in the ground, and this will grow to about 3 by 3 feet, similar to the roses that are coming up. This would also be a great thing to plant with those coral roses because you'll get the roses going on after the peonies fade.
Oh, pretty.
So just remember not to plant them too deep, and then water them in, give them a chance to establish. With all of your new plants, you want to make sure and water them regularly, at least a couple of times a week. Don't just plant them, water them, and walk away because they need to establish their roots.
Got you.
After that, like next year,
Yeah.
you know, again, if you want to depend on rainwater, you're fine with this. It's a fairly low maintenance plant.
The size of these blooms are impressive.
And I love the fact too that peonies can live for decades. This
It's an
is
heirloom
something,
plant?
this is an heirloom plant. So if you buy a house that's got peonies in the garden, you know somebody who lived there many years before you planted those. It's like the ghosts of gardeners past and all the beautiful things they left you. And this is something that you'll leave for your future homeowners and family too.
That's a beautiful sentiment. Okay, so this is new. It's $29. It's coming home, shipping for free for $9.67 on your 3 easy pays. A lot of you are picking up more than one. If you want the item number, it is M132211. So these are your 3 faves, huh?
Yeah, I love this show.
Okay, you
I don't
pick
care.
a set.
It's fine. I'll be